Mariah Carey and J.Lo have been in a feud for a long time. Recently, new evidence came out that supports Mariah's side. It shows that J.Lo has been taking things from other artists, especially black female artists, and Mariah believes she's one of them. This feud has been going on for a while, and the new evidence is bringing it back into the spotlight.
Or, I don't know him.
Does she seem cool?
I don't know her.
Right.
Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I'm not gonna put on a thing like, oh, we're all Hollywood.
Jennifer Lopez is known for being shady, but what many people don't realize is that she might have intentionally tried to ruin the careers of several women, according to some claims.
He wrote the same song for her. I heard that it was because Puff Daddy walked in and heard my song and said, I want that song. And he was like, yeah.
You might have noticed that Jennifer Lopez doesn't seem to have many female friends, and according to Mariah Carey, there's a reason for that. Mariah believes that J.Lo is jealous of women who can really sing, and she's willing to do anything to get ahead. From acting tough for Diddy to allegedly stealing vocals from multiple black female singers, we're going to dive into all the messy details of J.Lo's journey to fame. So, get ready because we're about to spill the tea.
What do you think about people still referencing I don't know her all these years later? I still don't know her.
Alright, let's dive into J.Lo's long-standing feud with Mariah. A lot of folks think Mariah is throwing shade at J.Lo for no good reason, but the feud actually started back in the late 2010s. That's when a video popped up showing Mariah telling a German paparazzi that she doesn't even know who J.Lo is.
Und was ist mit J.Lo?
I don't know.
Die kenne ich nicht.
Oops.
Alright, let's look back at Mariah's beef with J.Lo. It all goes way back to the 90s when J.Lo started getting cozy with Mariah's ex-husband and former boss at Sony Music, Tommy Mottola. Mariah was only 23 when she tied the knot with the 43-year-old Tommy. After their split, Mariah opened up about how Tommy was super controlling and emotionally abusive.
Wasn't really allowed out of the house. So I can't imagine what she went through.
So you've never been abused like that, ever been hit by anyone? You ever abused?
Abuse has several categories.
You've been emotional.
Emotionally, mentally.
Tommy's controlling behavior was well known in the industry back then. But that didn't stop J.Lo from getting cozy with him. She basically let Tommy use her as a way to get back at Mariah. In Mariah's 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, she talked about how Tommy constantly tried to ruin her career after their divorce, and J.Lo played a part in it. When Mariah was working on the Glitter soundtrack, she came across a song called Firecracker by the Japanese band Yellow Magic Orchestra and decided to use it in one of her songs. But Tommy had people spying on her, and when he found out about the sample, he took it and gave it to J.Lo. Mariah wrote, "After hearing my new song using the same sample, I saw Sony rush to make a single for another female entertainer on their label." Sure, let's break it down. Mariah had chosen a sample for her own song, but it ended up being used by J.Lo in her song I'm Real, featuring Ja Rule. Here's the twist, Ja Rule had already started working with Mariah on a collaboration, but Tommy allegedly convinced him to ditch Mariah and work with J.Lo instead. Tommy then got Murder Inc. CEO, Gotti involved to help produce the song. But here's where it gets even more complicated. The demo for I'm Real was originally recorded by Ashanti. Ashanti wanted to keep the song for herself, but once again, Tommy used his influence and gave the song to J.Lo. However, they still kept some of Ashanti's vocals in the final version.
I demoed the record for her. That was way back. That was before I was signed to Murder Inc. And they kept my hook. And, you know, they kept some of the backgrounds and ad-libs and stuff like that. And it was funny. It was a bittersweet because I was really excited because it was J.Lo. You know what I mean? But I was so mad at Irv because I was like, you know I wanted that record. I've always, ever since I saw Friday, you know what I mean? Mary Jane. I was like, you give me that. I want that record. I was so mad, but I was happy at the same time.
In 1999, when J.Lo began dating Diddy, she also started adopting a tough, gangsta persona, wearing bandanas, and getting involved in some questionable situations. One notable incident was when she got arrested alongside Diddy after a shooting at a club in New York City. They ended up spending 14 hours in jail together. This phase of her life raised eyebrows and caused some controversy.
Jurors also wanted to hear a readback of testimony relating to Combs' former girlfriend, actress-singer Jennifer Lopez, who was in the Navigator when it was stopped by police. An officer testified that everyone in the SUV was ordered to put their hands on the vehicle, but Lopez walked away, saying she was going home. As she was being detained, a gun was discovered in the vehicle. At that point, a sergeant on the scene ordered everyone who was in the vehicle under arrest. The officer quotes Lopez as saying, "It's not my gun."
J. Lo went to great lengths to show her loyalty to Diddy, but he didn't exactly return the favor. Remember Jlo's big hit, "If You Had My Love"? Well, it turns out that song wasn't originally hers. It was actually recorded by Rodney Jerkins, also known as Dark Child, for singer Shantae Moore. The song was titled "If I Gave Love" when Moore recorded it. But according to Moore, one day Diddy showed up at the studio and basically stole the song for J.Lo. This caused some controversy in the music industry.
J.Lo and I came out around the same time when the first album came out. And Rodney Jerkins actually came and wrote this wonderful song for me called "If I Gave Love." And you know the Jennifer Lopez song was "If You Had My Love." He wrote the same song for her. I heard that it was because Puff Daddy walked in and heard my song and said, "I want that song." And he was like, "Yeah, well, that's our take in that's for Shantae and blah, blah." And he was like, "Yeah, I want that song." So Rodney wrote really the same song. Honestly, if you hear my song, it's the same song. Mine says, "If you had my love, if you had my trust, would you use it against me?" Hers, I don't know. Can't even remember because it's so close, I can't even sing it right now.
Shantae later admitted that she could have fought harder to keep her song, but she felt overwhelmed by Jlo's powerful team in the music industry. This machine behind J.Lo allegedly helped her steal songs from other artists. For example, in Jlo's hit "Jenny from the Block," singer Natasha Ramos originally recorded the demo. Since their voices sounded similar, J.Lo decided to keep Natasha's vocals for the chorus and bridge. Although Natasha clarified that J.Lo wasn't lip-syncing, she did record her own background vocals over Natasha's. A similar situation occurred with Jlo's song "All I Have," featuring LL Cool J, which was written by another singer. Michaela Reddick and McCabe's vocals can be heard on the chorus, and once again, McCabe was credited as background vocals. But it makes you wonder, at what point do background vocals stop being background? We also can't forget about the song "Play" from Jlo's second studio album. "Play" was written by Christina Milian when she was just 19 years old, and Christina actually sings the entire chorus. Then there's Jlo's song "Ride or Die" from her fourth studio album, Rebirth.
No, I did not. He's got this new streaming service, and artists it's basically owned by artists. Okay. You think you would want to be a piece of it? If you were, I don't know anything about it.
When informed that J.Lo gets a solid 8 hours of sleep each night, Mariah responded with her trademark shade.
Mariah, who calls herself Supergirl, says she often sleeps just 3 hours a night. When told Lopez claimed to get 8, Mariah said, quote, "If I had the luxury of not actually having to sing my own songs, I'd do that too."
Now ask for fans, you can probably guess what side they're taking. One person said, "Let me get this straight, J.Lo was allowed to outright steal vocals and full songs from black women and black men paved the way for her to do it." Yeah, sounds about accurate. And another fan added, "This ought to show y'all to appreciate the legend Mariah. She was right all along, none of us should know her." But let's hear your thoughts on J.Lo and Mariah's view. Do you think that J.Lo really built her career by stealing? From other artists, comment down below, and make sure to click on this tab for more celeb tea.